Hey everybody, Terry Battisti with Bass Fishing Archives. I'm sitting here in my hotel room, Greenville, South Carolina, waiting for Classic 52 to start tomorrow. Today at Media Day I had an opportunity to talk to a number of the anglers, and one of those anglers that I talked to was John Cox. And how did John Cox get started in fishing? Not just bass fishing, but fishing in general, and then the progression through learning how to catch fish to learning how to catch bass, wanting to fish a tournament, and then becoming a pro angler. So why don't we sit back and listen to see what John had to say about that. We're sitting here Bassmaster Classic 52 with John Cox, and you kind of want to get an idea of how John got into fishing in general, and then his pathway to where he is now. So, John, thanks for talking to me here at the Classic. And what was your first memory of fishing in general, not just essentially bass fishermen or bass fishing?
Yeah, my very first memory, I think it was me and my dad. He signed us up for this like Channel 9 News fishing tournament thing where you submitted a picture of your fish, you'd win this T-shirt from the Channel 9 thing. So I remember that, and man, we went out and we caught all these bluegills, and then he laid them all out in the driveway, and I took a picture with him, and I was probably like maybe 4 or so.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and then we won the T-shirt. I remember getting the T-shirt in the mail and being like, oh my gosh. And I mean, it was like an extra large, but it was super cool that we went fishing and we caught these bluegills and we actually won something. So that was one of my very first memories.
That's cool.
Fishing, yeah.
That's cool. So what was your first memory of catching a bass?
The first memory of catching a bass, I want to say, gosh, boy, it's going. I mean, me and my brother, I think we skipped school one day, and we rode our bikes down the pond down the street, and we went to try to catch crappie or bluegill, and we actually caught some bass on our crappie jigs or whatever we were throwing. Oh, we might have caught them on bread. I don't know. Something weird. But I remember catching a bass then and being like, "Oh my gosh, look at this thing!" And I was so amazed how its mouth was so much bigger, than the bluegill and the crappie. So
right.
I was really
how they pulled and
yeah, it was just. I mean, it wasn't a very big one. I just remember being like, "Oh my gosh, look at this!" And it was it was super cool. Now I remember it a lot better.
So, what's your first memory of wanting to be a professional bass fisher?
Oh my gosh! So my mom, I wanted a boat so bad to go out fish these lakes. I was fishing from shore all the time, and she got me this 12-foot rowboat. And threw a trolling motor. We got a little trolling motor we threw on it, and we built a deck in it and stuff. And she signed me up for the John Boat Club.
Oh, cool.
And I went out in the John Boat Club, and I think there was like 15 of us. And anyways, I come in, I end up getting 4th place and 3rd place. I end up winning like $30, $20, something like that. And I was like, oh my gosh, I just went fishing all day, and I got paid $20. Even though my mom paid the entry fee, so we really didn't make any money.
Right.
But it was just so cool to see that was actually a thing. And I honestly, from that point on, I was like, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to practice, I'm going to learn this. I mean, we knew nothing,
Mm-hmm.
and I was going to, that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah. So that was your first tournament.
Yeah.
What was your first tournament win?
It was probably a few months later in the John Boat Club, and I remember being so proud of me and my partner, because we never caught a limit, we all up to this point. And then we went to St. John's River. We caught 5 keepers that day. It was miserable conditions, and we won that thing, which we won like $200 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I just remember like that satisfaction, all that work, all those months up to that point, trying to get to where we could just catch 5 keepers. How good it felt, like how it all paid off, like all that hard work, all those months. And I'm talking like all the months. I mean, I was fishing every day.
Yeah,
like every day for those months. Like I was super consumed by it, yeah, it was just, man, that was it. I was hooked.
So what was the defining moment in your life that told you that you could compete at this level?
Oh my gosh, you still never know. It's like, gosh, is this gonna be my last time out here? Like, you never know. Like, I am like thrilled every time I get to come to any of these or be at this fish at this level. And there's been so many up and downs where you're like, oh man, like one Red River. It's like, hey, I made it. This is it. This is what I'm gonna do forever. A couple years later, out of money, not even in the tournaments again. Luckily a buddy bailed me out. He's like, no, you're going. And he paid for the entry fees, and then I paid him back. And So you just never know like when it will end. But it was it's just I feel like I made it the other day when I finally got a shop to keep my stuff in. Like I look at it and I'm like, I've been keeping all my tackle in my bedroom all these years, and now I have a garage that I actually have my stuff in and work on. Like I have a shop, and I was like, I just felt like I was just like, I'm happy. Everything's going great.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, John, I appreciate your time, and good luck this weekend.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.